Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, this is the most high-performance, most horsepower show in motor cars history, and it's all thanks to the Geneva Motor Show, which is only a couple of days in. That's an absolute treasure trove of high-performance automobilia. And let's start off with a pair of vehicles from the folks over at Aston Martin. This is the brand new Aston Martin AMRB 003, a vehicle that we actually teased a handful of days ago. AM obviously standing for Aston Martin, RB because Red Bull Racing is still involved in this particular project. This is a limited edition production model that's one step under the Valkyrie. In fact, this particular machine has got the nickname Son of Valkyrie. Think of the Valkyrie as being, I don't know, this ultimate track day star as basically being a race car for the road. But this particular machine is basically going to be the ultimate track day weapon. This vehicle comes with a 3-liter twin turbocharged V6 with hybrid assist. But that 3-liter twin turbocharged V6 is Aston Martin developed. The first time Aston Martin has developed their own power plant in some time, as AMG has actually been doing the power plants for them over the past several years. Also, this vehicle is going to be all-wheel drive. It's a little bit softer than the Valkyrie, having a little bit more interior space, a little bit more creature comforts, even some room for luggage. But it's still a really track-focused weapon. They're only going to build 500 of these vehicles for the world, and it's going to have a starting price of £1 million sterling or 1.3 million US dollars. And this vehicle is going to be available in just 2 years' time, so we're going to have a whole lot more over this in the next couple of years. As is 2021, it'll be in dealer showrooms. Now, less limited edition production, but this is still the top of the tree when it comes to production machines from the folks over at Aston Martin. Not those hardcore racers. This is the top of the tree in grand touring luxury. This is the brand new Vanquish. And even though I call it maybe a grand tour, it's still a pretty amazing piece of kit. Gone is the front engine rear-wheel drive setup in favor of a mid-engine all-wheel drive setup. This too will come with a twin turbocharged V6 that's Aston Martin derived and a hybrid drivetrain system, even though they have yet to release the actual displacement on this particular deal. Think of this as being way softer than the AMRB 003, a car that you can definitely live with every day, with a lot more luxury touches coming into this particular machine. That too, this vehicle is going to come just 1 year after that other Aston Martin in the year 2022. So in the next couple of years, we're going to have a whole lot more about this machine. One thing I have to say about this is, even though they moved the lump to the back and made it all-wheel drive, it's still just as sexy as any Aston Martin is on the planet. So cannot wait to hear more about this particular machine. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And because this thing's got a pretty impressive powertrain and whatnot, and it's very limited edition, and it's got a massive price tag. This is the brand new Bugatti La Voiture Noire. Now, that's the world's worst French because I know like 4 French words, but that's French basically being La Voiture Noire for black car, which isn't the world's greatest name, but this is still a pretty amazing piece of kit. This is basically an homage to the 57 SC Atlantic from way back in the day. I have to say, Bugatti's done an amazing thing here. This is still a mid-engine all-wheel drive machine, but it really looks like a front-engine grand touring car. It's really amazing looking. Still comes with the quad turbocharged W16, making 1,500 horsepower and 1,180 pounds-feet of torque. It's obviously all-wheel drive. Here's the kicker, and here's the big elephant in the room. There's only one of these built for the world, and it's already sold. So if you had some cash on hand, you were going to have to need a ton, and you're really going to have to need a ton if you're going to rip it out of that person's hands. Because that person paid $12.5 million. And here's the kicker, too. After taxes, you probably could have bought a couple of Chirons for the money that the taxes alone, because clearing off the taxes means you paid $18.9 million. Yeah, this thing's pretty dang impressive. The sad part is, chances are there's not a whole lot of people that are ever going to get to see this car once it clears the Geneva Motor Show floor. Hopefully maybe at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, maybe, but we'll have to wait and see on that front. Another brand new machine. This coming from the folks over at Koenigsegg. This is the brand new Koenigsegg Jesko. Now the Jesko is kind of got a weird name, but it's really got a cool name because it's after Jesko von Koenigsegg, which is Christian von Koenigsegg's father. Guy who basically emptied his bank account to help Christian von Koenigsegg actually start his automotive empire. This vehicle is impressive front to back. It's a limited edition machine. It's the next go round in the lineup, replacing the Agera R, and it's just before we go to that camless hybrid system that's going to be coming down the pike. This thing comes with a heavily revised, in fact fantastically revised, twin turbocharged 5-liter flat plane crank V8. This thing twisting out 1,280 horsepower, and that's on pump gas. If you throw a little ethanol or E85 into the mix, this thing makes 1,600 horsepower and 1,106 pounds-feet of torque. That is shifted with an all-new Lightspeed gearbox. That is the name of this deal. It's a 7-disc wet clutch 9-speed automatic. It's paddle shifted. Also, it's got a what they're calling short throw shifter in the center. This thing's pretty impressive. With those 7 wet clutches, you can shift up or down 5 gears in near a millisecond. It will just absolutely blip down depending on what this vehicle thinks it actually needs. This vehicle makes a fantastic amount of downforce. 1,763 pounds of downforce at 155 miles an hour. That ramps up to 2,200 pounds of downforce at 170, and it maxes out at 3,086 pounds of downforce at a speed that is yet to be determined, because this vehicle is expected to go over 300 miles an hour. At least that's what Christian von Koenigsegg thinks, is that a Agera R 1-to-1 did a 277 mile an hour, the world record for the top speed of a production machine. This is a hugely impressive piece of kit with a lot of cool stuff we don't have time to talk about. Only 125 are going to be built of this for its existence before the new camless hybrid system moves in. So we'll definitely keep you in tune of a whole lot more about this machine moving forward. Last up on the list, the most highest horsepower machine we're going to talk about today. This is the brand new Pininfarina Battista. The Battista is a pretty impressive piece of kit. This is all electric. It comes with 4 electric engines, 1 per wheel. It's got a 120 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery setup. This is joint developed by the folks over at Remek. This thing makes 1,900 horsepower and 1,696 pounds-feet of torque. Hugely impressive. 0 to 62 comes in less than 2 seconds with a top speed that's estimated to be around 186 miles an hour. Now, it's got all the electric stuff that you were kind of hoping for, even though who really cares? Gets 80% of its life back in the batteries in just 40 minutes time thanks to a new fast charger, 300 miles of range on this particular machine, but again, 1,900 horsepower. Who the heck cares about that kind of stuff? Only 150 of these things are going to be built for the world with a starting price of £2 million sterling or $2.6 million. This is a hugely impressive piece of kit. A first shot go round for the folks over at Pininfarina. It's going to be real interesting to see how well this thing does and how it goes against the world's best. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new show as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.